It's playing a finite game. There's only a finite number of households that can pay $7 a month.
I didn't think it was
Disney
the answer
Plus.
to this question, though.
No, it wasn't.
So anyway, my comment is it wise for the company to take political positions
That's it.
to satisfy a very small portion of the people when our primary mission is entertainment, not education?
Okay, well, Raymond, first of all, I respect your position on this and appreciate your question.
This answer is
and I would like
awful.
to address that. Look, first of all, as the CEO of the company, I think my job is to strive to do what I think is best for our business, and that includes doing what's best for our cast members or our employees, and what will enable both to flourish. I don't think we should or can weigh in on every issue. And I also understand there are going to be gray areas. There are going to be times when we decide to weigh in on an issue that we believe is worthy of debate because of its relevance and importance to our business or to our employees. And there are times when I actually believe we shouldn't. But I strongly feel that we alone have to determine whether, when, or how to weigh in on an issue, whether it's private or public. Of course, with the standard that when we take a position on those matters, there's a true reason why we have. And in almost all cases, it has to be because it directly affects our business or our people. And I think if you look back, for decades, corporate America has expressed themselves on numerous issues of both right and wrong. And our country, I think, is better off for that.
Disney mostly
and it was
wrong
evident during
lately.
the civil rights era, as I recall as a child, when a lot of companies weighed in on injustices that they saw in America. It was certainly true during World War II when those that stood in silence, in some ways, still.
He wasn't alive during World War fucking II.
Let it look, and this whole thing about sometimes we need to take positions to our employees. No, you don't. That's when companies get in trouble. Your employees are hired and paid to do a job. If they're not satisfied with that, you fire them and you go find somebody else who will do the fucking job and stop running their mouths. This is the problem with these companies.
You don't run your entire business based on your lowly employees that you've hired.
If the employees don't like it, they can go out and start their own entertainment company. That's it.
Go start your own Disney.
Start your own Twitter.
Stockholders are having enough of this shit, and you can hear it. Go ahead and play this because it gets worse.
This is
All right.
Carry the stain of indifference. So as long as I'm in the job, I'm going to continue to be guided by a sense of decency and respect, and trust our instincts that when we do weigh in, we weigh in because the issue is truly relevant to our business and to the people that work for us. Thank you.
Hold on.
Thank you, sir.
The issue he's referring to is grooming children.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
He just compared the civil rights movement and World War II. Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks in that era.
Look, they can't keep the boys on board. So what they have to do is turn all the boys into girls, Valiant.
Yes.
Then they will make sure that their fan base will always be there.
We just compared the civil rights era to drag queens waving their junk in your kids' faces.
drag queens
That's what just happened.
Yeah, going into Disney.
It's all the same.
And no.
And decency, he's saying the side of decency says drag queens should be waving their junk in your kids' faces.
That's right.
This is all kinds of wrong to me. And the fact that he's saying as a company that we should take this kind of stance, it's incredibly insane. It's an insane stance to take as a CEO. But go ahead, because this is going to get even better.
Just real quick, just in case anyone's not familiar with it, I just want to say this bill that you mentioned, Valiant, the one they keep calling the "Don't Say Gay" bill. The real name, as you mentioned,
parental rights bill.
It's the
Parental Rights and Education bill,
and it says no classroom instruction by school personnel on sexual orientation or gender identity between the ages of kindergarten and third grade.
Right.
Of any kind. It has
gonna...
nothing to do with being gay, by the way. It's of any kind. So don't go around talking about, mom and dad banging either, or like the kind of, toys mom uses with her friends after
that
work.
is cis sex. Thank you very much.
Let's talk about sex.
But it's just amazing that they say that, oh, that's the don't say gay bill. And if you ask these people what specifically in the bill do you have a problem with, they will block you or they won't answer because they haven't read the bill.
There is no answer.
There is no defense of saying, no, I do think we should be teaching kindergartners about sexual orientation and sex and stuff. How do you defend that? You can't. That's why they have to lie.
And that's why you get called, broomers.
Yeah.
Rhymes start.
And I'm not quite sure about this, but I heard that they're actually trying to extend the bill now to 8th grade because
12th.
12th.
Yeah, they go through high school with it. They're going to take out all the political gender identity and all the they're trying to get rid of it all straight through all the way through high school, which is fine because we're still talking about minor children by and large.
Okay.
I mean,
but there is a juicy bit coming up here on that.
Yeah. Let's go.
So let's continue. Anybody else anything to add? No. Carolyn or?
I'm good. I'm learning.
Lila, you still just being Minnie? You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
From Chris O'Horo from Florida. Please go ahead.
Hi, Bob. I don't know if you remember me or not. I've spoken to a couple of meetings. I've been with the company for 34 years. I opened Disney MGM Studios and Indiana Jones show. I was at Indiana Jones show for 30 years. Now I'm at Galaxy's Edge. It's pretty cool. I'm a Gesture Rec Tech. I make our characters help them out talking.
Is this an ass kisser?
I just wanted to also thank you for the support you're showing our cast members. I really appreciate the stuff you just said, and I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate that.
A lot of these questions started out one way and went another.
In 2022, I was at my cast center, and you guys had a tent set up, and you had information, and they were talking about CastLink helping cast members, and they were talking about a program called Backup Care Service. And
pretty sure it's the next one, Tom.
Later that year, my mission has the market ever thought about going back to the e-ticket system?
That's the e-ticket guy.
What they want to have access
to
promoting
keep going.
The woke agenda.
We'll
bring it up. Thank you very much.
Okay, here we go. This is the one.
And our next question today comes from William Russell from New York. Please go ahead.
Hello, Bob. I'd like to address what I view as the elephant in the room. Over the last few years, Disney has turned from a place of magic for children to an ideological company serving LGBTQIA plus, however many other letters you want to add it to lobbies to groom children.
Back this up here. I'm gonna back this up. You know what could have made this better is this guy coming from New York, as if he had like a fucking Brooklyn accent or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey, yo, we gotta talk, Bobby, about this grooming shit.
He might have been sitting down the hall from DeSantis' office in Florida with a VPN that said New York.
Look, I know people that know people, okay? We'll take care of this.
This is amazing. This was my favorite part of the call.
All right, yeah, let's start this again. I'm sorry.
There we go. All right.
To an ideological company serving LGBTQIA plus, however many other letters you want to add to that, lobbies to groom children. Over and over again, we see how your films and entertainment are increasingly promoting the woke agenda. How can you explain to parents worldwide that you recently celebrated 100 years of history by collaborating with the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus to produce an LGBTQIA plus themed Disney musical? This is a group who have explicitly stated that they want to indoctrinate children. They literally sang a concert and they sang the words, "We will convert your children quietly and subtly and you will barely notice it." Disney chose to collaborate with these predators to sing to children. How can you explain to parents?
Okay, let's back that up again here.
Wow.
By the way,
you will barely notice it.
Back it up.
Disney chose.
You're going to back it up. I just want to say one thing. This guy sounds gay, which is even better. I think he's probably part of Gays Against Groomers. Like, doesn't he sound?
I think so. I was thinking the same thing, Carrie, when I was listening to it. I was like, I bet you this guy is part of Gays Against Groomers.
Yeah, because there was a little bitch.
Gay.
Yeah, there's a little bitch in his voice there for a minute.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, motherfucker, we're going to talk.
We're not going to do this in our name.
All right, I backed it up.
Yeah, I was like, is this like Harlow? Like, who's talking at this?
To produce an LGBTQIA plus themed Disney musical. This is a group who have explicitly stated that they want to indoctrinate children. They literally sang a concert and they sang the words, "We will convert your children quietly and subtly and you will barely notice it." Disney chose to collaborate with these predators to sing to children. How can you explain to parents worldwide that over the next few months, dozens of highly sexualized gay pride parades will take place in Disneyland parks worldwide, the exact places where they used to take their children for fun. Are you surprised that Disney's audience has plummeted, losing 2.4 million subscribers in the last quarter?
I love that he brings in numbers.
Had it up to here.
Unfortunately, those were all from India.
7,000 employees from today, in addition to the other thousands last
year. To be fair,
no wonder Disney's stock value dropped more than 30% over 1 year. As a Disney shareholder, I have a simple question. Would it not be beneficial for the company to ditch the LGBTQIA+ and gender ideology for good? If you are really interested in refloating Disney, please turn Disney back to the apolitical fun place that it used to be.
Yes.
And I bet that you'll win back both the trust of families and the stock market. Thank you.
Boom.
Okay.
That was I mean, that's getting you dick kicked in live on air.
Boo. That is a freaking mic drop of a question. And that's the guy. This question was the guy that the rap referred to as a crackpot. Okay.
Right.
Like this is the because he was so articulated. He was so well put, like what his question was so well put together to Bob Iger. And this dude is portrayed as a crackpot. That's not a crackpot.
They called him a crackpot?
Probably because half the writers of the rap are actually in that Broadway production that Disney sponsored.
Because they're crackpots, and they're like, this crackpot is
you know that's where what's his name, Scotty Mendelson went to from Forbes. He's at the rap now.
God.
Isn't he? Didn't he go to the rap?
No, he got fired from. Or he is at the rap. You're right. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, he left Forbes, and now he's at the rap.
No,
with these people writing that. Yeah, yes.
Okay, well, Bob's answer can't be that long here because we're at 56 minutes and 12 seconds, and this thing is only 1 hour and 1 hour and 2 minutes.
It's not.
You can hear Gutierrez in the background going, "Shut up, Bob!"
All right, let's hear what's said here, so we can remark on this.
Thank you very much for your question. I know you were talking about more than just content. You were talking about experiences that we provide to people, which we actually pride ourselves on being accessible to all people. But let me put some perspective, if you don't mind, create some perspective here too. You know that our company is celebrating its 100th year this year. And we've been telling stories for 100 years that are aimed at entertaining and inspiring families from all over the world. And we're extremely proud of the positive impact we've had on billions of people over that 100-year period of time. And for generations, the stories that we've told have touched people's hearts.
It's a crap
because
answer.
It is.
They've been infused with right values. They've celebrated heroes and emphasized the value of family and friendship. They've instilled a steady faith in the belief that good triumphs over evil, that tomorrow is always brighter than today.
That's why we're fighting against Disney.
Those stories have had an amazingly positive impact on the world, a world that always loves and needs great stories, and heavens, great entertainment, particularly
why don't
in
you
today's
stick to
world.
that there, Bob?
And we've recently gotten criticism, as you just expressed, for what some perceive to be agenda-driven content. And I'm sensitive to that, actually. Our primary mission needs to be to entertain, and then through our entertainment to continue to have a positive impact on the world. And I'm very serious about that. It should not be agenda-driven. It should be entertainment-driven. That should be the goal in all of our stories. And
Total lies.
We're just never going to please everyone all the time.
Total lies.
We should be sensitive to the fact that parents have different levels of comfort.
He says we're never going to please everybody all the time. But who they're trying to please is basically the 0.3%.
Basically, the one whining, bitching child in the room. Yes, that wants their
Here's
way.
the thing about we're not. Let me go ahead and put this we're not agenda-driven bullshit to rest. It's in your fucking SEC filings. It's in there. It's in your annual stock. You sitting there lauding all the DEI stuff, all of your, we want to change. Look at all the Reimagine Tomorrow videos that leaked last year. 100%. That was all your creative executives out there saying that we have an initiative inside Disney to change at least 50% of Disney's characters to DEI, LGBTQ plus ABCD, QRP reign, but whatever the hell it is today. That's what you're doing. It is part of Disney. It is absolutely agenda-driven. You've written it into the DNA of this company. And every first decision you make is based on that.
And the numbers are showing that people are rejecting it. And that's the issue that everybody's having here, is that the movies and the numbers of people going to these movies, like Turning Red, people are having enough. Like Buzz Lightyear movie that freaking bombed. People they've had enough, and they're showing with their money and their wallet that they've had enough of it. I'm sorry. Go ahead and play the rest, Tom.
I just want to say that I feel bad for Mr. New York, and I'm offended on his behalf, and I think he needs a space where he can speak his feelings and his truth, just like everybody else.
Oh my God!
And for them to disregard him so easily and call him a crackpot is just wrong.
To their children. I want parents to be able to
use
trust
their
the
logic
content
against
that we're
them.
creating for their children.
Wait, listen to what you just backed it up like 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
Family audience that is delivered to their children. While I know we're just never going to please everyone all the time, we should be sensitive to the fact that parents have different levels of comfort with the content that is delivered to their children. I want parents to be able to trust the content that we're creating for their children, and we're committed to delivering age-appropriate content for family audiences.
No, you're not.
While also telling stories that reflect the world around us and that foster a greater understanding, greater perspective, greater acceptance of all people. And it's just my hope that Disney continues to be a source of hope and optimism for the world.
It won't
be. We're honored to actually carry forth Walt's legacy of inspiring joy and wonder for everyone.
You're not.
Thank you very much.
It hasn't been for many years. It's been a long time.
From Bruno Rossetti with Sir Metro Detroit.
Oh, by the way, this next caller is 100% the opposite. Like a woke ass caller because they're trying to balance out, the other guy.
Look, the thing with Disney is everything Bob Iger just said is a complete lie. Complete lie. He's not interested in, I hope parents can trust our. No, you really don't. You really don't care, because if you did, you'd actually be listening. Their attitude is to blow these callers off. These attitudes and these people, he's doing a very poor job of it in this case. He doesn't care that parents don't trust their children with Disney anymore. No parent out there should trust their child with the Walt Disney Company anymore. No parent should trust their child with Disney ever at this point. Ever.
I mean, look at Proud Family. Look what
they did with that. That is marketed to 4 and 5-year-olds. It says it in the description.
That's a great point, Kara. That's a great point. Because I barely knew about that piece of shit. And then I caught like a couple clips from it on Twitter, and I was like, oh my God.
It is completely different than what it used to be. I grew up watching that show, and it is completely different tone than what it originally was. It is a pathetic excuse of a reboot.
It's unbelievable how woke and incredibly just terrible it is. It's a terrible show. I feel bad for kids watching it. Like I feel Proud Family, Carrie.
Okay.
I just
all
feel
these
so
shows
incredibly
nowadays
bad.
are just so filled with aggression towards particular groups of people. Like that's what they're really targeted towards, is causing more division than what is necessary.
That's why it's such bullshit when Bob Iger goes on and on about how like it's just about like, having acceptance for everybody, because it's not about having acceptance for everybody, because you're constantly pushing this one message and saying how everybody else is bad. So it's not.
He's a professional shit stirrer.
It really is.
And I had more respect for Iger if he just came out and said, yeah, look, we're trying to expand Disney into the LGBTQ market. We're trying to expand Disney into this and that. Fine. At least be honest. Own up to what you're doing. Stop trying to lie to people's faces. Look, let me ask you a question. Who's been more successful in the last year with animated content, especially big headline stuff, Universal or Disney? You don't have to think long about this one.
Universal.
Look at Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots, Minions, Rise of Gru, and now we got Super Mario Brothers coming out here in a few days. Disney's done. Their crown is gone. They haven't. Their animation crown is gone.
Look, Valliant, you don't have to go far to figure that out, because during this exact same earnings call, they announced this, which is fucking ridiculous. Okay, they announced the Dwayne Johnson live action Moana.
Why?
Which
Why?
look, I love the video of him and his kids. I thought that was great, and like we were complimentary of Disney in the beginning. The whole video they ran to lead off the call and everything was great. I thought this was very heartwarming. Now I don't know how good this movie's going to be, but this is the kind of stuff that Disney should stick to, right?
Look, and you know what though, Valliant, I have no problem with this. If this was like, you know, a one-off or whatever. But honestly, I do have a problem with it, because even if you want to say that this is what they want to do or whatever, this is what creatively bankrupt is. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I have no respect for people who are basically just rewashing the same material and giving it to you, regurgitating it to you in a different method, okay? Because they've already done this. It's a 7-year-old movie, and the idea of remaking something, the argument has always been that we need to introduce it to a new generation. We gotta bring these old things back to bring it to this is a 7-year-old movie. This is the epitome of being creatively bankrupt, because you don't need this. They don't need this movie, but they're just completely out of ideas. What else are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Other than Proud Family, what else are they doing? This is what they're doing. They're like,
none of this political stuff.
Our movie.
None of this political stuff is in any of Universal's products.
It's incredible.
Why do you think they're doing as well as they are?
Because they're putting out original content that people
families
want.
Trust Illumination and DreamWorks right now. They do not trust Disney.
And is it true that Universal doesn't get any of these special tax break privileges? Is that right?
No, they do not.
They don't.
That's part of the issue. They've been trying. They have been petitioning the state of Florida for years. Can we get this deal that the stupid mouse has? No. So they just took the one away from the mouse.
Oh my God. Well, this has been a really fascinating conversation. We're going to get into some of these super chats because you guys have been so generous tonight.